Hey, welcome back to the Infamous Podcast. This is Brian.
This is Darryl.
And Darryl, this is episode 510. Giant robots, Gothic romance, and Godzilla's messy friends.
Roblox?
Roblox, not Roblox. Robots. Dude, words are hard, okay? They're hard.
They're hard and they're hideous.
They are.
And
they're messy.
Spectacular.
And, oh God, I wish I could, remember exactly all of Mary Shelley's little, Mary Shelley-isms during the Bride. But yeah. Dude, Jessica Buckley was so good. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry. We'll get to that. Darryl, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
All right. So just so you all know, we're talking about The Bride this week. We're talking about the Netflix movie War Machine. And we are going to be talking about the first 2 episodes of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Legacy of Monsters? Leganassi? Lassie of Monsters? Anyway. But yeah. So Darryl, how are you? What's happening?
First Pete, now repeat.
Well, so anyway, no, but we're going to talk about stuff before we talk about stuff. That's the way of the Infamous Podcast.
Yeah.
It's random banter and then random topics.
Okay, let me put this on my calendar. Random banter. Got it.
That's what the intro is, Darryl. The intro. It starts 7 seconds into the episode. Then we banter for 2 to 8 minutes.
Well, I mean, now that Netflix is out of the WB deal, I this has been brought up multiple times. This whole ordeal over the last few months. It was definitely last year, but I don't know, when did this first how many months ago did this first, this whole thing, the whole Netflix Paramount thing start?
Oh, God,
I don't recall.
It started over a year ago. It may have started before Trump got elected too, if I remember correctly, because Paramount was trying to buy it. And then they weren't going to, and then the election happened, and things got put on hold, and then it picked back up. Okay. And then Netflix entered the fold and offered a worse deal, And then they're like, well, we can't take this deal. And then they came up to a less worse deal, but this time it was all cash. Yeah. So,
yeah. And the thing is, like I said, this is on my fault. The difference is Paramount's buying everything. They want Correct. The whole kit and caboodle. Netflix did not. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just the same thing.
No. And so Netflix was offering about $30 million less, and they didn't want Discovery. They didn't want CNN. There was one other asset that they didn't want.
I mean, Discovery I would have probably taken, but CNN, who wants CNN? Really?
I want to own CNN.
Oh, I don't know if I just had a flash. You know how they say your life flashes before your eyes. I just saw CNN's life flash before its eyes. If you owned it,
it would just, what we would do is we would lobby Congress constantly for people who committed treason to show their executions on the Lincoln Mall live on pay-per-view on CNN.
That's not the thing you want the most.
But that's absolutely what I would want to do.
We know what you want the most, dude. It's an old school punishment. You know what? I know what it is. You know what it is.
Then enlighten me.
Tarring and feathering.
Constantly. That would be the 24-hour cycle. Just 24 hours of tarrings and featherings.
Non-stop.
Just catch a politician out at dinner, tarred and feathered.
It's funny because
and random too. It doesn't matter who they are. Just all of them.
Well, when we were watching, I had to laugh, and I thought of you when we were watching. What's that show? Outlander. I think it was season 5 or 6 or whatever. There were 2 politicians that got caught by a mob and tarred and feathered, and one of them died.
Oh, yeah,
and it was it was like the first time I've seen a like tar and feather in a serious light,
Mhm.
and I mean, I still laughed, but I mean, because again, the tar is going to be very hot.
I mean, you laughed at the blood eagle.
I mean, no, I was just fascinated
What
by
about
that.
honey and feathering? Like, you can do warm honey so it doesn't
Tie them up.
like burn them,
Well,
and then
no, if you're
feather
gonna do,
them, and then tie them to a tree in the woods.
well, I don't want to get the feathers to get in the bear's mouth. Like
No, the
that
bear
would,
deserves the feathers. It's got to work for its dinner.
okay. I mean, fair,
So, and
fair
maybe
point.
what we'll do is we'll create a race of super bears that can pluck feathers from chickens then. And then when we farm the chickens, we just give them to the bears. The bears pluck the feathers, and the chickens go on their merry way to be eaten by regular people, not bears.
I know somebody's turning this on. It's like, what the hell are they talking about?
Somebody is okay. Please, if this is your first time listening to us, this is how you're introduced. I'm sorry, but please email us at whatever it is, contact@infuspodcast.com and tell us, and I'll send you a shirt. Anyway, I'll actually let you pick the shirt from the Threadless shop, and I'll send it to you. Anyway, so yeah, I have way too much time on my hands.
Oh, idle hands are the devil's work.
Well, I
Sean.
have in the last week learned how to make. Well, in the last month, I've learned how to make a lot of stuff. But I published my first Google Chrome extension.
Oh, really? What's that?
Okay, so for anybody out there, if you use AI, what AI likes to do is leave little markers behind, and they hide it like in between the spaces of letters. Actually, what they really like to do is put it in between the last letter, the apostrophe, and then the letter, the contraction. So my extension, you copy and paste your stuff into it, you scrub it, it shows you where all that stuff is with little skull emojis, and then you clean it, and then you can use it. And then that way, their AI doesn't know that you used AI.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So right now it's free. I'm probably gonna start charging like $1 for it eventually, like maybe in a month. But yeah, it's called AI Scrubber. I'll put the link in the show notes actually,
The
because
link is in
people
the
should use it.
description.
It's in the description. So actually, I have to put it in the show notes because I can't put it in the actual description because they get mad at you for that. Anywho, so yeah, so I did that. Very fun, and
Yeah, when did you?
it's all local to your machine. So I don't even
Okay.
get
Oh,
to
that's
see.
good.
I
Yeah.
don't see what you did. I don't track what you did. All I do is track when people use it. That's been
So
opened.
yeah, like how many? Not how many, but like when did you? When did that finally go up?
Like Tuesday, Thursday. What day's today? Today's Tuesday. It went up on
Tuesday.
Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a good time.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to learn new things while I'm looking for a
Mhm.
job. So I've learned how to make AI voice agents that I could use your voice to call you and talk to you about the Infamous podcast.
What are you
I might
using for
actually
that?
do that.
What are you using for that? Like
I
some of
can't
this.
tell you. It's secret. I could tell you, but then I'd have to tar and feather you. Anyway, let's talk about War Machine.
That was the weirdest segue ever. But okay.
Okay, so War Machine is a Netflix original. It stars Alan Ritchson, Dennis Quaid, Stephen James, Isai Morales, and briefly Jai Courtney.
Your favorite actor?
Here's the thing. I like Jai Courtney. I think he can be a good actor, but the problem with Jai Courtney is he has a horrible agent who puts him in a lot of shit a lot of times. So if Jai Courtney is in a movie and he's not in the movie for very long, it's usually a very good movie. Or not a very good movie. It's usually a good movie, fun movie.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
there's exceptions. Like, obviously he was good in the first Maze Runner, or not Maze Runner, the Vergent movie and stuff like that. But, he was great. He was great as Varro. Varro.
I still need to go back and rewatch that.
You
I haven't
need to
watched that in
watch
a long
the Elseworlds one.
I mean, I don't need to. I
I would like
probably
it if you
will,
did, so we
but
can talk about it, and then I can cancel Stars. So, all right. So this movie came out on March 6th. It's received generally positive reviews from critics, which is great. They praise it as fun, old school, a throwback action movie despite its familiar formulaic storyline. And it did have a box office debut making $29,156, which probably paid for the robot.
what?
Yeah.
I didn't. That must have been what, two theaters?
It was on February 12th in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So, oh, I wonder if that's American dollars or Australian dollars.
That's so bizarre. I like the. I, that's interesting that got
Anyway,
a release.
all right. So this movie it starts in Afghanistan, and nobody has names until they get numbers. It's very Fight Club-ish. It's like Project Mayhem. They like take your name away from you, and then you get your name back in death. In Afghanistan, an unnamed staff sergeant arrives to help his brother's broken down convoy. His brother tries to convince him that they should apply to become Army Rangers when they're attacked by Taliban insurgents. Everyone is killed except for the staff sergeant, who suffers a knee injury. He tries to carry his mortally wounded brother back to base, but passes out before making it. When he wakes up in the hospital, he learns that his brother has already died, but he was awarded a Silver Star. And then we jump 2 years later, and he is attending RASP, which RASP stands for Ranger Assessment and Selection Program. To join the 75th Ranger Assessment, he's given the number 81. Now, Darryl, what did you think of 81's performance in RASP?
Well, the 81's performance or Rickson's performance?
Well, let's talk about like 81 first, and we'll talk about like how we thought Alan acted in this role.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep them together because
Okay, cool.
81, like, I mean, dude, he was a specimen in every sense of the word.
A
Because
unit, if
I
you
mean,
will.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that he pretty much does everything well, but going to the character himself, like when you're physically gifted and you want to do something, and then you have an underlying motivation that causes you to carry weights until you pass out underwater, then that just feeds into that physical aspect that you already have superior over everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's what he had. He had the physical aspect, but then he also had the mental aspects which, I mean, almost drowned him and
Right.
almost got him kicked out as well because, again,
I,
and this was
I
what I
was
liked.
just sad when he didn't drown and he didn't come back and say, "What is dead may never die."
What I liked about that is what him being king of the Iron Throne, or not,
The drowned god.
Salt
Yeah.
Throne.
The salt
Throne.
throne.
Yeah. So what I liked about, and again, this was this was a callback to older. And when I say older, I mean like those '90s movies, 2000s movies, in the sense of, I mean, it's very straightforward, but the addition to it, it has a nice character aspect to it with him and what he's fighting through from a emotional standpoint. And yes, there are moments that were extremely telegraphed, but again, like I said, I told somebody earlier today talking about this movie, I don't care if movies are predictable. If the journey is fun, that beats everything. Again, I don't like movies and TV shows now that try to be overly subversive and all that stuff, because usually they don't do a good job of it. And that's the thing. You can be as predictable as you want to be. If you do a good job and you have some fun getting to getting through that predictability, I don't care. So this was absolutely a predictable movie in some aspects, but it was fun.
Right.
And having that, even if without that emotional aspect, yes, if it didn't have the emotional kind of like hook of him that I actually kind of liked, I thought it was deep enough. I still would have liked it,
Yeah.
but that added probably, like, for me, a half a point more than it would have been if it was just more straightforward.
Yeah. No, I agree. I liked it. I thought it was really cool the way he portrayed it. I thought Alan was great in it. I remember watching some like clips of him talking about training for this, and like kind of the actor version of Rasp that he went through, which was pretty
Mhm.
interesting because he was even talking about excuse me how hard it was. But the interesting thing here is like we get to see like all of this stuff and like all this building of the team and the camaraderie and the resentments and whatnot. And when they get to go on their final mission, before they can get their scroll, which is the little patch that the Rangers wear, not the little patch, the very impressive patch that the Army Rangers wear. It's they get sounded on a simulated mission, and that's when all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool because again, on this mission, you're not using live fire. So, I mean, granted, the live fire wouldn't have really helped in this situation, but at least you have a comfort in knowing that you can shoot at something, and there's something psychologically, I think, even when you know it's useless, you know, psychologically strengthening knowing, hey, I can put this on rapid fire and just go
Right.
Rambo
Yeah.
and then, die in a hailstorm of violence, versus I'm running for my life
Right.
because I that's all I can do, and I'm still going to die in a hailstorm of violence.
Army
So
Rangers want one thing, and it's a glorious death from an alien monster.
Rangers lead the way.
All the way.
Yeah, I love that. I do love
Dude,
that.
I get like goosebumps every time they do that too. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of did too. I was
so
like,
I was like,
come on.
yeah. I was like, God. Like, all right. So we were talking earlier about like how this was like a throwback movie. This is an old school pro America, pro US military movie.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Like everybody in this movie is a badass. So Dennis Quaid is, I guess, the overarching commander of the unit. He is actually Sergeant Major Sheridan, and then under him is First Sergeant Torres, played by the great Issei Morales. We are big fans of him. He does good as a military guy. Do you remember? Do you remember in Jericho when he was the military guy who came in season 2 and was like, "Oh,
no,
you guys have this nice town. We're gonna take it over. I'm the military."
yeah. I don't think I ever saw season two. I think I got through like halfway through. I think I saw season one, but I don't think I watched season two of Jericho.
Okay, we're gonna put a pin in that and come back to that one later. But yeah, I don't.
And he was also Richie's. He's also Richie's Valentine's brother in La Bamba.
Yes, that's true. And he was the bad guy in the last couple of Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, forgettable, but
I mean, he's done a ton of great shit. Let's just be fair.
I mean, I still like him. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So they send these guys out, and they're supposed to find the husk of an old airplane, and blow it up. And so they're doing their thing, and they find this big metal structure, and they're like, "We found it." And then they set a bunch of explosives on it. They step away and they blow it up. And what do? They wake up an alien killing machine, a war machine, if you will.
yeah. And the thing is, it made sense why they were because they even mentioned again. It's one of those things. Just a quick line of dialogue. It's like, wow, these boys are really because it's supposed to be this top secret military like aircraft.
Right.
And they're like, they really went overboard with this design or whatever.
Right.
It's like, well, whatever, we got our job or what. And again, it makes sense because I know coincidence, happenstance, that it crashed what a few hundred yards away from where they were going, and the fact that what it did was it emitted electromagnetic field that messed with their compasses, and that's why they got the wrong, got the wrong coordinates. If they would have waited a little bit and maybe done a little, recon of the area, this might never have happened. Well, for them, because we find out later it's happening everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's like the 10 Cloverfield Lane when they get out and
Or
you just see all the Cloverfield monsters.
yeah, or a quiet place too.
I still haven't seen
Very
that.
or not Quiet
Or no,
Place.
the
The
day
first one.
one. I haven't seen day one.
Yeah, day one. Day one was
Yeah.
pretty good.
I liked it. I've liked them all so far that I've seen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't think day one would be any different.
Yeah, I was in it exceeded my expectations because they were pretty low in the first place. Because I'm like, this is the third movie, no one asked for it,
Yeah.
but it was fine.
So anyway, so then it turns into like Lone Survivor, um, where they're all falling down this hill and like half of them like crush their spinal columns and break everything, and one guy lands on a branch horrifyingly.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah. And then Alan just pulls him right off. 81's just like, what? Yeet. Anyway, that being said, this was just like, I found this to be a pretty fun movie, right? It was like, oh, it was a popcorn movie. And I will say the least impressive thing about this movie was the robot's design.
Yeah, it for an alien technology, it was quite backwards for me. And I know you've heard of the Metal Gear Solid games.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I played that one.
So
That's Solid Snake, right?
yes,
Yeah. I
so
played that
like
on NES. Thank you.
yeah, so pretty much every battle is with a Metal Gear system that look. That's what this reminded me of because it really reminded me of that. But at least those are made by I obviously it's high tech from a standpoint of Earth based technology. I would have thought this was there. I mean, there were well, I guess there was that laser, but it just seemed like for something to come interstellar from an interstellar way, that the technology was a little bit, you know, yeah, just kind of old. Maybe they sent it like 10,000 years ago, and that was their
Well,
technology then.
depending
Who
on where
knows?
they are, they would have had the closest they
Yeah,
could have been would have been 2.5 million years ago.
yeah. So I
So,
mean, that's yeah. I mean, thinking about that way, okay, that makes sense.
like
But
when they sent it, there were dinosaurs on Earth, and they're probably like, "Oh, this thing can take these things out easy, no problem." And guess what? It needs to breathe just like they do. Let's go.
yeah, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Anyway, and then what do they get? A bunch of tiny skinned mechs who are, smart enough to figure out its weakness and exploit it. Anyway, I don't want to ruin too much. I will say this: it's written and directed by Patrick Hughes. Do you know who Patrick Hughes is?
From SpongeBob,
No, that's
Patrick.
Patrick Starr. Patrick Hughes he's an Australian filmmaker. He did The Hitman's Bodyguard and The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, but he also did The Expendables 3. So that's three good movies to The Expendables 3. And then he did something called Red Hill in 2001. I'm sure he's done more.
And the Man from Toronto.
Oh, I've never seen that.
I've never seen that either.
Oh, it's is that Statham?
No, that's Woody
Oh,
Harrelson.
Kevin Hart. Oh, I'm just looking at a tiny little Woody
I thought
Harrelson,
for a
Kaylee
second it was
Cuoco.
Statham too.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. Well,
But yeah, and just to leave off, one of the other things I really liked pretty much all the characters, the main characters. You had 15, 81, of course, 60, 7, 44. I really liked them as a group, and it sucked. They did a good enough job formulating enough of their personas that when they got killed, you're like, oh, dang it, that sucks.
can we talk for a second about 122, the girl, and then they let her drive, and then she wrecked the thing?
Oh, that was 44.
Oh, 44. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
I
the
actually
other
really
one,
liked her too.
No, I did.
Yeah.
She was a great character. I just thought it was funny
Yeah.
that she drove and then wrecked
Yeah.
the car. No, it was good.
And if you're wondering, because I had this question as well as I'm watching this, and when they first start RASP, there have been, I think at this point, 150 women that have completed the RASP. And more importantly, at least from what I could see, there are no change in the physical requirements. They have to do the ruck of 5, 12, and whatever miles, same time and all that stuff. So Yeah, and there's been I think
Yeah.
10 or 15
Nice.
active. Now, granted, when you complete RASP,
Mm.
that does not mean you're in the operational Rangers. Out of that, there's been I think 10 or 14 women that have been in the operational theater as
All
a
right.
Ranger.
I'll just say this. I was expected to suspend my disbelief that an Ed 209 looking robot was on Earth and needed oxygen to breathe. I can suspend my disbelief about a woman being in the Rangers. So, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's horrible. Um, I'm a bad person. Anyway, again, if this is your first time listening, welcome.
Yeah. No clutching of the pearls here.
Oh no! The pearls are strewn upon the floor, Joe
And
Chill and Martha Kent
let's
style.
be honest, we absolutely do edit ourselves as far as what we say because versus what we say to each other.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, all right. I have some questions about the movie. Okay, so did the premise, like, did it feel like a rejection from like another like action movie or like
Yeah, well,
like there's a lot in here and it's like I felt like it was Lone Survivor but like science fiction.
like I said, I told you, it reminded me of Quiet Place. It reminded me of
That
like
too, yeah.
that Lone Survivor aspect. It reminded me of the Metal Gear Solid and other things. This is almost like just like a
It's a
nice
grab
little
bag. It's a grab bag of
of stuff.
movies.
Yeah,
And it all
but it
worked.
works.
All right.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes that it doesn't work. This absolutely worked for me
Okay.
at least.
All right. Next one. Has Alan Ritchson become the king of the large man Psalms impossible nonsense cinema?
I mean, he's definitely
I
past
don't know who else
Dwayne
does
and
it.
Ben.
Who?
I mean, Dwayne. Come on, like
Dwayne
Dwayne's
didn't
movies.
solve problems. Dwayne created problems.
I mean,
Hobbs was not a problem solver. Hobbs was a problem creator. Dom was the problem solver.
well, and I also said he passed him too.
Oh yeah. Well, Dom is like, dude. Vin Diesel's like 5'5", like
Yeah,
tops.
but
You know.
also like Rickson's depth of
Yes.
his acting ability too. I mean, he's come a long way from Thad Castle, a long way.
I
And
want to make a Thad Castle like high pitched little scream at you right now so hard, but it'll hurt my throat. Anyway, okay. Was this dumb fun in the right way or just loud?
oh, absolutely, and you'll see that by our review scores.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely done in the right way.
Very cool. All right. So now, out of 10, when Ed 209 gets on gear and rampages, what do you give this?
I gave it a 7.2. I was actually surprised at because again, there's a lot of movies I like, and I'll give it a 6 something.
Mm-hmm.
I gave this a 7.2 because it's one of those movies that all like even a couple days later, I was like, I still thinking about like I want to watch this again. I just it's one of those things that it just kind of like just touched me. That sounds weird. That touched my life.
Show me on the doll where the movie touched you, Darryl.
Where the Ed 209 touched you with the fire bombs.
Show me where he scanned you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Anyway, yeah, you gave it a pretty high
yeah.
score.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I really like. I mean, after the movie was over, I was like, I just said to, I was like, I really like this movie.
Yeah.
And again, I know it's not great, and from the sense, but I do think, like I said, there was enough of an emotional hook because without the emotional hook, it's getting to 6.4, maybe 6.5, maybe.
Yeah.
But that emotional hook, and like I said, I liked all of, his troop of, his cadre of people.
Yeah.
Like from 44 to 15. I really like how they, played off each other, when, they knew they were running for their lives. So that's why, 7.2 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I agree with the premise of enjoying it. I gave this a 6.15. I feel like that's a fair score. I feel like it's a good score. Mm-hmm. I think as of right now on the Mario Day, March 10th, that this movie is in the running for, I'm working on something, I just want background noise, I'm putting it on.
Hmm. Oh yeah, this would be a really good movie to do that
So
with.
yeah. Like I'm tempted to just throw it on while we're podcasting right now and just watch it. But yeah, I think, I think this was good. I was fun. Netflix, do more of this.
Yes. Again, this is an example of one of those things Netflix does. They'll pull, they'll like 30% of the time they'll do a movie like this where it's like, wow, oh, that's so much fun. And then they'll do a movie like The Gray Man. And it's like, wow, this had so much potential, but they didn't quite, make its mark. And then you'll have a movie like The Killer. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Peacock.
All right, let's move on after that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Why would you
Peacock
bring it down?
got
Anyway.
caught astray like that.
Okay. So, all right. So now, kind of in the opposite vein of this, let's talk about The Bride. Written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. At least not.
By the way,
least there weren't two attractive people fighting over her in this movie.
Yeah, it's. You should say it the right way. The Bride. Thanks for that, critical drinker.
Oh, I didn't watch.
I
didn't watch any reviews of any of this stuff, so I can have my own thoughts.
Yeah, I just watched that today.
I don't need Jeremy Johns to put my thoughts in my head.
Sure.
Anyway, all right. So, written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, stars Jessica Buckley, Christian Bale, Annette Bening, who was kind of unrecognizable with the hair,
I didn't realize. Yeah, it took me a minute.
Peter Sarsgaard, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Penelope Cruz. First off, fantastic cast.
Yes.
Second off, Jessica Buckley. I watched the first few minutes of Hamnet, maybe the first half hour. I'm super impressed with Jessie Buckley, and I've never heard of her before.
Never heard of her.
So I haven't even looked her up yet. I was like, I don't even know what else she's done. I don't even care what else she's done. Like, one, she had to have had an amazing time making this movie. Mm-hmm. It had to be a blast because she got to play Mary Shelley and she got to play the bride.
Yeah. Yeah, I never heard of her. Like I said, I've never heard of her. And out of everything that happened, because I have a lot of, like, this is one of those movies, the more I thought about it, the less I liked it.
Really?
But with that said, the more I thought about it, the more I think with a couple of tweaks here and there, and this is not her fault. This is like the script and what they did. We talked about this, but the more I thought about it, the more I liked her performance.
Yes.
I mean, going to your point, I think she had it came across like she was having the time of her life in this role. And
well, she got to play Ida, she got to play the bride, and she got to play Mary Shelley.
Yes.
All in the same time frame in the 1940s ish. When this was happening, when was the?
No, it's like 20s or 30s.
1936. So
yeah,
we were split the difference. Okay, so the movie opens up with Mary Shelley speaking from the afterlife and says this is the story that she wanted to tell after Frankenstein, but couldn't due to her death. And to tell it, she has to possess, and she doesn't tell us this, she just does it. She possesses Ida, a woman living in Chicago, and has her in a trance, and then talks about all the criminal activities from the crime boss Lupino's henchman Klein James, discreetly kill her afterwards. All right, that all happens before the credit, the bride title comes up, and it was like, so the previews made this look like it was going to be this like Bonnie and Clyde heist movie, right? Which is why I was all hyped for it, and it's not. It's like a love story, and it's like, I'll get to the second part. So then after that, Frank, as Frankenstein is called, Frankie, comes to the house of Dr. Camilla I
Oh
can't
yeah,
even say it.
yeah. I was about to say I don't know. It's interesting
Euphronius,
pronunciation.
Euphronius.
Yeah, Euphronius. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And because he read about her and her work in reanimation, or what did she call it? Revitalization.
I think so. Yeah.
She didn't call it reanimation, but she was like, she corrected him. Um, and he's trying, he's just like, look, doc, I want to get laid. I mean, that's what it was. And like,
I mean,
to me, this was like the part that like kind of like, I'll agree with you there. It's like, he should have had some more altruistic means. Like, I'm just so alone. I just want love. I don't like, dude, doc, I just got all these urges and I got to get them out.
yeah, yeah. There, and especially with an actor as Christian Bale, he could have had like a nice short monologue, like to based on yes, he said he was lonely and all that stuff. What would have been effective is just like just what it's been like to X, Y, and Z over 100 years to not be able to. That's one of the things that the Frankenstein movie, the Del Toro Frankenstein movie, did a great job of showing us the hardships he had to go through after leaving the castle,
Right.
and being alone and just finding shelter where he
Right.
can while avoiding the mob. So that was a missed opportunity because I think Christian Bale could have delivered something like that just fantastically. And to your point, it would have been one of those things like, oh, I get it, being alone, totally
Yeah.
alone, not being touched. Because I think that was kind of sad when she touches him and he kind of like gasps because
Yeah.
he's never been touched
And he's
before.
like,
I mean,
well,
yeah,
yeah. He hasn't been touched by anyone but an angry mob before.
right,
So
yeah,
with pitchforks and fire, which we see a
right,
lot of in this movie. It was great.
yes,
So he convinces Dr. Euphronius to dig up a dead body, and this happens to be Ida. They revive her, but she loses her memory in the process. And so Frank is just a liar and a gaslighter and a manipulator. Like, but he was trained by Dr. Frankenstein, so it's understandable. And he tells her that she's his bride and she lost her memory in an accident. And because she doesn't know better, she accepts it. Now, Ida looks a little different when they get her out of the ground. She's got this massive, like, kind of like inky, scar on her face. Her hands look like they were dipped in ink. I love the look of her.
I just, in general, I like the look of the movie itself. I thought that was one of the better
Yeah.
things about it. That, and I
The costuming
agree
was
that,
really good.
yeah,
Like
I
all
really
throughout.
liked her look.
Yeah.
I really liked her. And again, that's one of those things that in the trailer, it really got me because it was something unique, something different.
Yeah.
And like when,
Yeah. No, I like how they subverted like the dark hair with the skunk, the skunk gray stripe in the middle. She's very obviously dead. Like she's her leg was crushed when she died. She walks around on a knee brace like it's nothing, which was I thought hilarious. She has no limp,
right.
which I just found I found hilarious. And it's like, you know what? She's dead. She can't even feel it. She just has the stability of the brace. So
Yeah. And I'm assuming that maybe that,
maybe
well,
it
no, I'm
heals.
not assuming. They actually, I think they mention it that Frankenstein walks like he does because his legs are two different,
Yeah, they're two
two
different
different
legs. Yeah. So then they go out. He takes her to the movies. He loves going to the movies. And he talks about his favorite actor, Ronnie Reed, and takes her to the movie. And then they go to this dance club. And I thought this scene was like, this was the most visceral scene in the whole movie. It's super raw. She wants to dance. He's like, I don't dance. And so she's out there and she's dancing and she's wild and he's like, he's watching and like he enjoys watching her, and she's dancing with other men and he enjoys watching her. And I thought it was a very much like, is Frank a cuck? Like, what's happening here? And I'm
Well,
like, and he kind of is.
yeah, I was about to say that's
So,
he kind of, yeah.
but I mean, he gets over that. Don't get me wrong. But so then he's watching her and she's dancing and she's like, and then these two men start to what's a delicate way to say this?
Grope.
Grope have their way with her, and so Frank goes and gets her, and they leave. And as they do, these two guys follow them out, and they're harassing them, and they're like, they're still trying to grope her. And Frankenstein does what Frankenstein does.
Yes.
He kills them brutally. I thought what was weird though is that while they did that, Penelope Cruz's character was right there. As Jake's assistant, Myrna Mallory, who she works with a police detective, and she got a picture of them. Or was that someone else? It looked like it was
someone
Penelope
else.
Cruz. Okay, well, their hair was like far too similar.
Yeah.
But okay, so that makes more sense. And then, so now people are looking for them.
Yeah, and this one of my biggest issues, and again, I had a very mercurial, like my opinion about this movie as the movie was. I was watching the movie. I did a lot of sighing because there was a lot of stuff in this movie that went only one way, and what I mean by that is, we were just talking about Frank being sort of a cuck. I mean, and a gaslighter.
Yeah.
You have to, liar. You have the detective who we find out is, harboring a secret. We have obviously the mob guys. They're garbage anyway.
Well, before we get to
the
them though, like as they're running away, he's telling her to leave him, which seems really strange, right? And he's like, "There'll be a mob, there'll be fire and pitch torches, and just leave me." And like, he tries to, so he goes back up to Dr. Euphonius's lab and he gets his effects, and he comes back down and she's still there. And he's like, "Fine, you can come with me." Like, it was like, okay, like you were just telling her to leave, and now it's all right, just because she like stayed like a little
she was
puppy.
like, she just like, I don't know where to go, or something like that.
So sorry, but back to the mob.
And again, not one good male character in this movie. Not one. Like, not him, not the cop. Now, granted, they're not the bad guys in the sense of the mob, which again, we know the mob. The mob is the mob. That's fine.
Dr. Euphonius's maid wasn't a man? Hold on, let me look. Greta? Nope, Greta is a woman. Okay.
Yes, Greta was a woman.
Janine Berlin. What a looker. Man. Okay. I thought I would have bet your life that Greta
There we
was
go,
a man.
betting my life.
I always bet your life.
I know you do.
It's because I treasure it so much more than my own.
Yeah. So there were a lot of scenes in this movie that like when the scene later in the movie with the cop, obviously the scene with the two guys, that I don't know if they really got a look. Can you correct me? Did they really get a look at Frankenstein?
No.
Like, because I say this because
no, well, because they knocked his hat off. They're like, "Ooh, hey, ugly!" Like that was it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were really looking at him. They were looking like
because
through him.
You see this a lot in movies, and again, so I'm not singling this movie out. When you guys, and again, I know people can do this, but one of my favorite instances of this, going back to our boy Alan, was in Reacher, when the guy was basically, pushing around his woman, and he runs into Reacher and he's like, "Dude, what are you going to do about it?" And then Reacher says not a word, and the guy backs down. See, that's the difference between this Frankenstein and like granted, Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein's taller too. Like, he'd look like not just a monster physically, or like from a patchwork standpoint, but from physically. And Bale seemed like he played it more like a hunched over, because he's trying not to.
I
draw
got
attention
Quasimodo
to
vibes more than Frankenstein vibes.
I got less.
Times.
Yes, right. So I think that kind of not soured, but like it didn't project him as just this mega monster,
Yeah.
which he should be.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's fast forward. Like, so they get out of New York.
Fast forward.
They kill a guy. They kill a cop on the train because they're hiding, and they obviously don't smell or anything like that. Just rotting, necrotic flesh. Anyway, so they kill a cop on the train, and then they get to New York, and they're on Jake Willis, and his intrepid girl Friday, Myrna, track them to New York, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna go see a Ronnie Reed movie. Let's go to the movies." And so they're and they're right to do that, but they were seeing a different movie, and then they leave. It's called The Revolt of the Zombies. Was the movie they were seeing, by the way, and they cause an issue, and they go to this super high class party where Frankenstein runs into Ronnie Reed. And I have to say, I thought this scene was hilarious. I'm thinking you probably had a different point of view on this, and I'm really interested in it. But the way he fangirled out for Ronnie Reed, the reason I find this funny is because I've worked out at some really nice powerlifting gyms with professional bodybuilders and stuff. And I will never forget when one of my guys was working out and this big professional bodybuilder came in, and he fangirled out. And this dude, Steve, is huge, just jacked to all get out. And he was like, oh, and ran over and got a picture. And they did the pose with the thumbs out. And then the pro bodybuilder was like, "Hey homie, you want a picture?" I'm like, "I don't even know who you are."
I don't know.
And this was in 2016. So this is way before, I don't even know who you are. I was like, "I don't even know who you are." And he goes, "Fair."
But no,
and this dude could have snapped me like a twig with just his pinkies. So, but anyway, so he's fangirling out, and then Ronnie's super uncomfortable. He's like, "What's happening here? Why is this smelly man with a scar on his head bothering me?"
I actually thought that was pretty funny too.
Okay,
I think the dance number goes overboard in that scene.
I love the dance number. That's my favorite part of the whole movie.
But I actually thought it was that scene of him "Dude, you told me this, and you gave me the inspiration to do this."
And when he did the dance,
and he's so earnest about it too. That's the thing.
But
and like you said, Ronnie is just "Dude, can I get out of here? I can't even get out of here quick enough."
Yeah.
So yeah, I did. I thought that was pretty funny.
But then she does they called it the brain attack. And they got all the people. She got all the people to start dancing through telepathy or something, brand new power. And here's why I loved it. It made zero sense. But it was
I was
fun.
Gonna say that's I thought, because they do this a couple times, usually he would do it when he was watching a movie and he would see himself dancing and doing oh well, you didn't watch Welcome to Derry, but it kind of reminded me of that, where they're seeing things on the screen that shouldn't be. I don't mind that, because it doesn't make sense. And again, I'm one of those that I don't always necessarily need something to make sense. I do think it was overboard. That doesn't mean I didn't think it was fun. I was just, that wasn't the part that made me roll my eyes, or the parts that made me roll my eyes. But because it was kind of fun. Just because it was so out of the blue too, where it's just okay, we're going there.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I agree. So then they run, and there's their pictures are taken. They go on a crime spree. Lupino recognizes her, and has Clyde and what's the other guy's name? James, the creepy guy, sitting down and what's going on? And they're like, "Oh, she's dead. We killed her. She's very dead. We buried her." And then he shoots James in the face, and Clyde has to go kill her again. This is the part of the movie that dragged for me and actually brought the score down.
Hmm.
I like the hard traveling heroes here didn't need to happen this way. Like it should have been a crime spree. I really think it should have just been
I
it should have
really,
been an
yeah,
action montage of them going from town to town to town defeating angry mobs.
I could not agree more.
Um,
I think that would have, for me, that would have been, I think that would have been awesome,
yeah.
actually.
And then the
And
scene with Victor from Millions, you know, again, like these guys feel like they can just touch her. Like that scene was completely unnecessary for the movie.
is it Victor from Millions? Is that the cop?
Yeah, the cop, sorry.
Okay, that
When he's
I
like
was like,
molesting her as he's like patting her down for no reason.
yeah,
It was just it was one of those unnecessary, and that was like the self indulgence of a
yes,
young or of a new director and writer.
yeah.
And
And again, it's one of those things. If you have a point of view for something, if you're going, I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. I'm going to just be generic about it. It doesn't matter. But when you're beating someone over the head with it shows a lack of deftness and a lack of like subtlety. And again, a lot of Hollywood is like this. It doesn't matter what the message is. It cheapens what you're trying to do because now you come across as preachy and overbearing and like you said, self-indulgent.
right,
And that takes away from what could have been a lot stronger. And again, not just the action part of it. I'm not talking about just like when these directors nowadays, when they have a certain point of view, they can't get out of their way enough to
right,
give us that point of view without beating us over the head with it.
correct.
And Maggie Gyllenhaal does that. And that's what bothered me the most.
And
Even
again,
though
as she makes more movies, maybe that'll go away.
maybe that,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
because I mean and this is the thing. She wrote and directed this. Maybe get someone else in the writer's room
yeah,
to do that. And
but
then she directs it. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Anyway, all right. So they make their way back to Chicago. After Clyde kills Frankenstein at a drive-in, which was crazy. And so the police arrive. The bride is in the laboratory with Euphonius, and she's like, bring him back, revitalize him. I forget. That's not the right word. Anyway, and she's like, I can't. Like, it's just not how it works. And then the police arrive, and Clyde is hiding, and he shoots the bride.
and
And
that
sorry,
triggers and that basically triggers a cavalcade of bullets
yeah,
because the cops get there just as he fires the shot or maybe a
right,
little bit before. And so one person shoots and then everybody's shooting and it looks like one of those old 80s movies when
yeah,
guys get like lit up with bullets and
yeah,
their
just
limbs are going everywhere.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and then the movie ends for the most part, and Myrna goes down and she's directing the cops because she's in charge now, and she told Euphonius she needed to pack and to take all the time that she needed, knowing what was going to happen because all of a sudden the tower lights up in a massive display of shining light, and then the next thing you see is the two corpses' hands coming together and grasping each other in credits.
Yes.
And then there's a mid-credit scene where Wiles and the female rioters, the brain attacks, are apprehending Lupino, which I thought was pretty interesting for a mid-credit scene. Maybe we're gonna get a Bride 2 Electric Boogaloo. I don't know. I don't think we need it.
Yeah. I will say if we do, and it's both written and directed by her, I'll pass. And if we have a writer that, you know, that or a different writer or a different director or a different combination of the two, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. All right. So oops. Out of 10 Mary Shelley's Bonnie and Clyde possession acid trip, what do you give this one?
I gave it a 5.1, and that's down from a 5.9 ish when I came out of the theater, or not when I came out of the theater, but when after I thought about it for a couple hours after, and then the more I thought about it, the more just stuff I didn't like. Jessie Buckley, like I said, is not one of those things. I think her performance was fun, was very good. Even though the material wasn't always
Mhm.
great for her, I think I loved the exuberance and the
Mhm.
talent that we saw with her.
So I really like the acting. I really liked the costuming, and
Oh, that too.
I
Yes.
really liked the look and feel of the movie.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yes, those are things I like too as well.
all right, let's move on to our last topic of the evening, day, night, whenever you're listening. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, season 2, episodes
Oh.
1 and 2. What?
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. I was looking at the wrong
Oh,
thing. I was like, I didn't give Monarch that low
no,
of a
I
score,
fixed
and
it.
then
I changed it. So,
I was looking at the Bride score.
oh, sorry. Yeah. So the first episode is called Cause and Effect, and the second episode is called Resonance. Um, so just like the previous season, we have stuff happening in 1957, the superior storyline, and stuff happening in 2017,
Yes.
the inferior storyline.
Absolutely.
So,
100%. Couldn't agree more.
we're just gonna go over this like kind of quick because we're almost at an hour, and you know, so the first episode and second episode were directed by Lawrence Trilling. The first episode was written by Chris Black, and the second one by Dan Dworkin. That's literally Dworkin. Dworkin. That's how you say that name, right?
Sure.
Anyway. So season 2 opens with the chaos of Kiko's return after being presumed dead for, like 40 something years. At the same time, Kate, in typical Kate fashion, did you see the out of for the 10?
Yes, I had
Anyway,
laughed out loud. I
anyway.
laughed out loud when I saw that.
So Kate, in typical Kate fashion, disobeys direct orders and tries to save Shaw. In doing so, she unleashes a gigantic tentacled new Titan called Titan X. And Shaw gets out. So I will say this. I love Kurt Russell as the adult version of Lee Shaw. I have started to appreciate the kid that plays Kintaro. I do not know why May is still with them at this point. The black girl.
Because the script says she has to be with them.
So maybe, but I mean, Kintaro is like, following the steps with his dad. He's found out he has this sister last season.
Yeah.
It's exciting to have Kiko in the present. We'll see how that works because Bill Randa was played by John Goodman in Skull Island.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
anyway, I'm curious if we're gonna get. Did we get him? Oh no, he's in season 1. But yeah, and then we have Hiroshi Randa, Takahiro Hira.
Yes.
And that's who played him,
Not
right?
Hiro-
He wasn't. Was he
Yeah.
recast or no?
No.
Okay,
He's the
so
same
he
guy.
didn't. Okay. Because
And
he
it's not
looks
here. Yeah,
different. What?
not Hiro Sonata.
I didn't say Hiro Sonata.
No, during our conversation a few days ago.
I said Hiro Sonata. Yeah,
Yeah.
because wrestling. Anyway,
But yeah,
wrestling.
yes. Yeah. Also, Monarch, you might want to check on your security measures when
Right?
a handful of people can just steal a skiff like out of this massive boat you have, this massive ship.
I
And
will say the Monarch boat is pretty fucking cool, and I wish it was like
that is
Sequest
slick.
where it could go underwater.
Yeah.
And it
slick.
was like, yeah, but you're right, it's slick.
I really love that design. But like you said, I I mean, now that Titan X, I want to see the damage it causes and what Godzilla and Kong are going to have to do to defeat it.
Yeah. Are they
But
going to
I
call it a
really,
T day instead of G day?
I really like again, going back to last season. Yeah, last season, 2.5 years, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
almost, which is crazy. The the past storytelling or the past story, because I just like it there are less characters, it feels more focused, and it doesn't have all these other characters getting in the way of it, including Kate, which is far and away my least favorite character on the show. I
Yeah.
don't like May, and I don't like the new guy,
I
or
don't
the
like
guy who's
Tim.
now
I hate Tim.
exactly. Is
I
he the
like
guy with glasses?
for me the worst character is a battle between Kate and Tim.
Now, is Tim the guy that now has to take over because
Yeah.
the okay, yeah, I don't like him either.
No, he's awful.
Also, he again,
It has
this is
nothing to
the
do with
thing
the
with him.
actor. Just the
No,
character is awful.
it's the character, and this is the thing with this character. He's supposed to be second in charge of this, monarchy. There's no way
Yeah.
this guy would be second in charge of a freaking Dairy Queen the way he acts,
Right.
the way that his character is portrayed. And you can't take him seriously.
Nope.
Which, again, he can have some comic relief, but you can also take him seriously if he's written well.
Correct.
So those three, and again, I actually, to your point, I actually like May more than either one of them.
Yeah.
Because she has shown at least like flashes of depth, I guess,
Yeah.
while those other two clowns need to be killed
Yeah.
in the show. The characters need to
Yeah.
die
They
off
killed off
horribly first.
the PR lady and not Tim.
Yeah, which it sucked
Anyway.
because she
All right.
she was capable.
Let's talk about the second episode real quick. So this one spends a lot more time in the past than in the future. There's a lot of tension in this episode because Lee and Kiko are like in the past investigating the secretive village, but like Bill's like, well, why can't I stay? It's like, well, because you pissed everybody off, homie. You gotta go. Like you didn't even stop. You were just like click, 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 and they're like, go, go, go. And they find this little like shell creature of a creature that looks like a beetle, but like pointier. And then they're in this little, like, I guess it's in Mexico or South America.
South America, yeah,
Village,
somewhere.
and the locals are none too pleased that they're there because it's the time of the Great Awakening for them, and it turns out that they pray to this little creature because it is like the remora that lives on a shark for Titan X.
Yeah.
Are you
And,
proud of me for knowing the remora thing? I just thought of it just now as we were talking.
Nice little history.
A little marine biology going on there.
Fun fact.
Yeah, a little fun fact. Anyway, so there's a whole thing where this village sacrifices people to Titan X, which was really interesting to see. And then in the future, where they're dealing with these things, one got into Lee's escape pod, and Kate finds herself alone with it. I'm scratching my head right now because this is just so she finds it. She grabs the phone and she's like, "This is Kate Randolph. I'm on deck. I don't know what deck." And then thinks she's gonna fight it with a fire extinguisher.
She is.
Why couldn't it have eaten her?
Yeah. And again, we've talked about this off air. This has, like you said, this has nothing to do. There are certain actors. I'm not a huge fan of Kiersey Clemens, who plays May as an actress.
Right.
Like,
but
I don't
nothing
think she's
to do
horrible.
with
But
Anna
Sawa.
So
whatever. Sawa. Yeah. She was phenomenal. Not good, not great. Absolutely phenomenal in Shogun.
the best character.
Like amazing.
The best character.
So we know what she can do with good material.
Correct.
Like that's why I think when Shogun first came out, I'm like, oh, she's in this. And then it took me 5 minutes to see her on screen in Shogun, and I'm like,
and like
oh
this
my
is the
goodness,
best character on the whole show.
She is awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, this has nothing to do with her, but she's one of the worst written characters I've seen in the last few
Oh,
years of
yeah.
like
I
just
mean, this
awful.
is Dawn Summers level of bad.
Get out, get out, get out.
And I mean, Michelle Trachtenberg is a fine actress. Rest in peace, Michelle. But
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where it's like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
But I will say, Titan X, the Titans that we saw were awesome. The little slimy bat thing that they saw in the cave was awesome.
Yeah.
I
The
just
one
like,
issue,
yeah, sorry.
yeah. The
One issue.
only issue, and again, this is as well as these shows do the CG. Again, one of the hardest things to do CG in is water. And when the Titan is going through the water, and you just see the fins or whatever that is,
Oh, yeah.
it looks pretty bad.
I thought
But
King
when
Kong's face was bad too.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. But overall, again, this is a TV show.
Yeah, it was a TV budget,
for the
King
most.
Kong.
Yeah, it still does a really good job.
But everything else
you know,
looks
for
so
CG.
good. So good.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So when it comes to all this, right? Did this season come back strong with the first 2 episodes?
Solid. I won't. Again, there are some things that did well. I honestly didn't. I don't like when shows have a cliffhanger like Lee falling into the other realm and then that person getting rescued right away.
Yeah.
Uh, Sometimes it works,
Mm-hmm.
but it just felt a little rushed to me.
Yeah.
If they would have done this, I don't know. It just felt a little bit rushed to me. But combining it with the second episode, getting more about the going to the past and finding more about this the culture that kind of worships this. So I it's a good start. It comes back strong enough where I'm looking forward to seeing what we have going on next.
It's strong enough that I forgot it, that I haven't finished Fallout until just now. So
I didn't realize that until I
Yep.
saw that Fallout was not on this
All right.
list of things.
Have the human characters had a better balance this season with the monsters so far? Because I feel like it was too much human last season and not enough monster.
Yeah.
And I feel like this season we've definitely seen more monsters, like in the first 2 episodes, than we saw in the first 5 episodes of season 1.
Yeah, but again, with that said, season 1 is a new series, so it's gonna be more of a slow burn. I think with going back to the past and what we saw in the past with these little monsters, that it seems like it's trending in that direction.
Yeah.
I will again. This is one of those things. I will be curious to revisit after the season is over to see if we get that more monster balance, which I kind of think we are. I'm hoping we are.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see what these. I think it's 10 episodes, right?
Yeah,
like
it's 10. Just like last
okay.
time. Okay.
So.
What was your initial reaction to Titan X? Because I feel like there's 2 reaction points to him in the Underverse and then in the real world.
Yeah. So my reaction to him, well, first I was like, oh my God, this guy is swimming very fast. For such a big creature cutting through water like this. But the tentacle aspect, tentacles and multiple planes of attack like this thing has, it does offer a new challenge for Godzilla, for Kong, for whomever else they're gonna get. Because again, this thing is water, but yes, it's amphibious, but it rules the waters. So they're building up a very formidable foe for Godzilla and Kong, which I like. Mm-hmm. So in that regard, again, it's a little bit maybe Lovecraftian, which I have a fascination with that stuff. So I did like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Like I like when it burst out of the little mountain in the Underverse.
Yeah.
Till Underverse come and all that stuff. And it was really neat. And then when it came out, it was like the first tentacle slapped on the ground, and then the second tentacle slapped on the ground, and then you see its head start to come up, and it's like, Kate, close the fucking portal. Anyway, but no, I thought it was really cool, and I agree. I like that this is a different beast than what we've seen in the past with the characters.
flying one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, and we know we're not going to see Mothra because she's in a cave somewhere, being worshipped
with the box of scraps.
Yeah, box of scraps. Anyway, so how does this work? So okay, so we got like Kong X Godzilla, the New Gods or whatever it was called, which I actually really liked. How does this fit in? Because like I feel like this is before all of that, but like I don't know where this lands on the timeline.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because I was trying to think myself about where all of these movies lie in the timeline, and including the show, the movies and the show, and how they kind of. That was my question, and I'll have to look that up because that was one of the questions that popped up in my head during the show.
Yeah. All right. And lastly, out of 10, never let Kate Randa touch a button.
I don't know if I'm trying to think the last time I was more frustrated with the character's stupidity. Good grief.
Oh, goodness. Dawn Summers.
I mean, there's been many times where I've been frustrated with characters, but oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I give this 0.3 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's
a solid is a solid score. Solid score.
Yeah, it's a solid start. I just, one of the things I don't like, and again, this is less the character of Kate, but the incompetence of Monarch, particularly having a character like Tim who is absolutely undeserving of his role. Now he's thrust in a leadership role, and maybe we get a good character arc,
and maybe
but
we
also
get a monster to eat him.
Yes, but also the incompetence of having these regular rando people on your ship and being able to steal a skiff without anyone knowing. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
come on.
All right. So I gave this a 6.78. If we're breaking it down between the two episodes, the first episode was a 3-ish, and the second episode was a high 3, low 4.
I had 3 for the first episode and around 3.6 for the second one. So we both like the second one better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, on that note, Darryl, do you have anything else you want to add before we
go? We might have Fallout for you next week. Question mark.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it.
I'm going to have to watch a kind of like one of those recap.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find somebody's video and throw it in a Notebook LM and then put my voice on it and review the episode. And then just plug it into the podcast to talk to you.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway. All right. On that note, thank you all for listening. Sorry we went so long. We will be back next week. Yeah. So have a great week and be infamous. Bye. The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Darryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/infamouspodcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.